What's up, everyone? Zach Patro with Faceoff Sports Network, your home of NFL draft content. And today, we're going to have a good one for you. We're going to be talking about the top 5 risers in the top 200 big board rankings that we have now live on the website. Make sure you go check that out. We did have a top 100. We're making that up to a top 200. And before the NFL draft starts at the end of April, we're going to have a top 350 for you. We also have scouting reports going live on the website, so make sure you check those out as well. They will be rolling out in position groups. Get to know these guys, see what I think of them, and also you'll see the top 200. But we're going to be talking about the guys that moved inside the top 100 and are the biggest risers. So let's jump right into that one right now. All right, first up, we have the Missouri offensive lineman, Armand Membou. There was some questions about whether he's going to be a guard or tackle at the next level. When you look at his measurements at the Senior Bowl this last week, I think you're going to be looking at a guy who is going to be a tackle in the NFL. He's got really good size, almost 6'4", 332 pounds, 9 5/8 inch hands, and 34-inch arms with an 81 overall wingspan. I think those are great measurements for an offensive tackle. That's definitely enough to kind of solidify that question of whether you wanted to play guard or tackle. Obviously, it all comes down to who ends up drafting him, but those measurements definitely helped him seal his spot as a tackle, but he definitely could play some guard too. But I'm going to be putting him as a tackle in my rankings here. What I like about him is he's an extremely good athlete. I wish we would have been able to see him at the Senior Bowl with those one-on-ones. Again, I talk about one-on-ones. They're a little bit overblown. They're a little bit of a Twitter X type of thing. You're not going to get that game type of scenario in the NFL, but it's always very fun to watch. You can definitely see the guys that hold up under some pressure with those one-on-ones. I think he's, again, very athletic, but he's very powerful as well. Very strong, very powerful. He's got really good, really quick feet, good hand placement to reach those edge defenders. And again, I think he's solidified as an offensive tackle with those measurements, and the tape is very good too. If you haven't checked him out yet, he's definitely someone that's going to be a top 50 guy on my big board. He jumped up 17 spots for me when I was going through the rankings of readjusting those. So Armand Membou, Missouri offensive tackle. Check him out, great player. All right, and the next guy I want to talk about, he's been talked about a lot throughout the Senior Bowl week because he just shined. He was a great tight end prospect that definitely put himself in that top 50 conversation. In a deep tight end class, I think that you're going to see a lot of guys go earlier than expected because there's a lot of top tier talent at the tight end position in the 2025 NFL draft. But I'm talking about Elijah Arroyo, the Miami tight end. Tremendous Senior Bowl. He could make a case for tight end 3. He's my tight end 4 right now. Again, really good Senior Bowl showing. He's got that ideal size. He could play a versatile position as a tight end. A tremendous route tree for a tight end as well. You love to see that out of those guys. Very strong hands. Really good speed too. I think he's going to run between a 4.6 and 4.7 at the combine when that starts. So watch for him. I think if he runs a very good combine, it's definitely going to help his draft stock. He's twitchy for his size. He's been a top 100 guy for me, but I'm definitely leaning as a top 50. These are my final rankings, but right now he's at 54 in my tight end 4. I could definitely see him jumping up even higher. He's up 33 spots. I like the film. I didn't see him as a top 50 guy, but obviously when you have a Senior Bowl showing like that, I got to go back to the tape and kind of see what I was missing. But he's definitely going to be rising in the rankings. Again, up 33 spots right now, and this is a couple months before the 2025 NFL draft starts. I could see him jumping even higher. All right, now we're going to get into the new ads into the top 100. First guy I want to talk about, I tweeted about him twice the other day because I put on a few games of his. The Iowa game I thought was fantastic, but we're going to be talking about Femi Oladejo, the UCLA edge rusher. Another guy that had a very good Senior Bowl, I thought looked extremely athletic, really twitchy. Again, I went back to the film because he wasn't a top 100 guy for me, so I ended up going back to the film and checking out a few games of his, and I thought he was a very good player, twitchy, strong. He's a former linebacker that switched to edge rusher later in the year and definitely helped his draft stock because of that. I think he can play a variety of positions. If you want him to be a 3-4 outside backer, he can do that. He's got the size to be a 4-3 defensive end, so you got that as well. So a really scheme versatile type of edge rusher in Femi Oladejo. I thought he played with great strength, a very, very good athlete, plays well in both the run and pass game, so he has that, run stopping ability and can rush the passer. Someone that's climbing up my draft board, currently sitting at 73, he's my edge 14. I love this defensive line class, and Femi Oladejo, the UCLA edge rusher, definitely is someone that we should be keeping an eye on for the 2025 NFL draft. All right, going with another new add to the top 100. This is a guy, someone told me you got to go back, check out the film on this guy, and reevaluate what you thought of him, because he was well outside my top 100. And I'm not too high on this center class as a whole, but Jared Wilson, the Georgia center, is solidified as my center one. I mean, I don't see that changing. This is a very, very good player. Unreal athlete. You could just see it throughout every snap. This guy's a tremendous, tremendous athlete. I love what I saw on film out of him. He's quick out of his stance, agile, and works laterally very smooth. He's a very smooth type of player. Plays with good leverage. He works doubles and climbs to the second level very well and gets there with good timing. It's not just out of his stance, hit the guy, get to the next level. It's with a purpose. There's meaning behind everything he does. I really like Jared Wilson as my center one. I think, he's a Georgia guy. You're going to see this big man run very fast at the combine, and it's going to shock a lot of people. This is going to be my center one. Again, I don't see that changing. He's well inside my top 100 now, number 76 overall. Again, not high on the center class, but if you're someone that needs a center, Jared Wilson is definitely the guy you want to go get. All right, the final guy I want to talk about, another new add to the top 100. He's currently sitting number 91. Cornerback 11, I could see him going up because this is a very, very good athlete and definitely saw a bump after the Senior Bowl. It's Western Kentucky's cornerback, Upton Stout. He's starting to gain a little bit of buzz, and I see why. I went back to the film. This is a very good player. Again, he's not the biggest guy. He's around 5'8", 5'9", around 100, between 170, 180 pounds. Hopefully he can bump those up a little bit and still show how much of an athlete he is when the combine rolls around. Upton Stout, he's definitely rising in my rankings. He could go even higher after we get in some more film, the combine, pro days, all of that. I see this being a guy teams are really going to like. He's a twitchy type of athlete. Played some slot, played some outside corner, great at recognizing route combinations, good understanding of zone concepts, and a strong man coverage corner. Upton Stout, this is going to be a guy that's going to climb as we continue to prepare for the 2025 NFL Draft. Keep an eye out for him. If you haven't checked out his film, he's someone that is very, very talented. And again, when I look at the Senior Bowl guys, it's more of answering questions for me. Upton Stout definitely had me asking more questions of why I wasn't higher on him. So I went back to the film, checked him out. He's a very, very talented player, someone that should be inside the top 100. Again, at 91 right now for me. CB11, I think he could even rise higher in those rankings as we prep for the 2025 NFL Draft. All right, they have it. 5 guys that are rising up my 2025 NFL Draft big board rankings. Again, we had the top 100. We're bumping that up to the top 200. Get to know these guys, where I see them going in the 2025 NFL Draft. Some very talented players that I'm coming across a little bit later that are going to be rising. We're going to be getting that up to a top 250 and eventually finishing off at a top 350 before the 2025 NFL Draft starts. Again, we got the links below in the YouTube description. Make sure you go check those out. And again, we're going to be having scouting reports going out one by one here, and it's going to be a lot. So make sure you're checking those out, reading those, because I like a lot of these players in this draft class. You're going to see what I see in them, what I think they're good at, what I think they need to improve on. So make sure you head over to the website. Again, link below. We'll have the link for the scouting reports, the link for the 2025 NFL Draft Big Board. Again, we're going to a top 200 right now, and we're going to end with a top 350. But there you have it. That's it. We're going to be back next time talking about the 2025 NFL Draft. Again, if you like this stuff, be sure you check it out, because we're going to be going through this all season long, prepping you for the 2025 NFL Draft. We'll see you next time.